you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impression slash wear test on the new Shiseido foundation and concealer. So I actually received this product free to try from Influencer. So it came in this little box in the mail, and inside I received the foundation and the concealer to test out. So first off, the foundation is called the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. So this is oil-free, and it also has an SPF of 30 in it as well. So this foundation claims to have active force technology, synchronizes with skin, and helps to resist heat, oil, humidity, and motion for a fresh, natural finish that lasts all day. 24-hour wear, flawless, weightless comfort, medium buildable coverage. So I am not going to be testing this out for 24 hours, but I am going to be wearing it all day. So we'll be able to get kind of a normal person wear test in on this one today. So they sent me the shade 160 Shell. And you open it up, and this is what it looks like. It has a frosted glass bottle, and then it has a twist top for locking, which is actually really nice if you're going to be traveling with the product at all, so that it locks itself and it won't be pumping out in your makeup bag. So the concealer that they sent me is also the Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer. This is what it looks like. And it says it is long-lasting, medium full coverage, and weightless. So this does not have the 24-hour claim, at least on the packaging. So you open it up. It is kind of a small size concealer. It is 0.19 fluid ounces. So it's just kind of a little guy, but it has the same black and red packaging as the foundation, so they do match each other. So in this they sent to me the shade 103 Fair. So if you guys are interested in seeing the application and the wear test on these two products, then just keep watching. Okay, you guys, my skin is nice and clean. All that I have on it is my e.l.f. Daily Hydration Moisturizer. And then for primer today, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my Laura Mercier Foundation Primer, the hydrating one. I'm not going to be using my Radiance Primer today because I want you to be able to see like if this foundation offers a glow. It's supposed to have a natural finish, so we might get a little bit of that glow. So I really want to be able to see that, whereas like a Radiance Primer would bring out a little more glow. So we're just going to use hydrating today. But in addition to that, I am going to go ahead and go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, just to smooth out some of my pores. Just in my T-zone area. Okay, so the foundation came in this cute little box. So we'll just go ahead and get it out. I do think that it might be slightly light for me, but I think with bronzers and stuff, we'll be able to make it work. So it should be all right. So this is the packaging. And I'm going to go ahead and do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge, just because I've seen people do that. And I do kind of like the idea because some foundations work better with a brush and some work better with a sponge. So it is kind of nice. You don't have to wear it like 2 days in a row to figure out which method is best. You just do it all in one. Hopefully it turns out well because I am going in public later. So hopefully it's not like a stark difference. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side with a sponge and this side with a brush. So I'm using a beauty blender and I'm just gonna go ahead and put it directly on the sponge. We're just gonna do one pump and then we're definitely gonna need more than one pump, but I think the color might actually be okay. So that's good. So you can see it's a little light, but I think once we have all my powders and everything on, we'll be able to blend it in because it doesn't look too light compared to my neck. It just looks light compared to the other side of my face. So this is 2 pumps on this one side of my face. They are kind of small pumps, so it's not like my Jouer foundation. I get a lot more in one pump, so they are kind of small pumps. But this is definitely medium coverage, but it applied very easily, blended out really nicely. So I don't know, we might leave it at that coverage level. I'm gonna go ahead and do the brush side and then we'll take a look at it all together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stipple this on first. Now I'm just gonna do a light swirl. I apologize for the background noise. My cat is playing with all of our moving boxes in the other room. He's kind of loud. Okay, so here is the brush side. Again, I use 2 pumps. So with a brush, you do tend to get a little bit more coverage because the brush doesn't absorb as much product as the sponge does, which is why I chose to do the brush on this side because my melasma is darker and a little bit heavier on this side. So wanted a little bit more coverage on this side, but this is what it looks like. It does have pretty good coverage. You can see some of my spots still poking through, but like from far away, everything looks nice and covered. I am going to do about half a pump more on the sponge side, just to try to match the coverage a little bit. And then I'm just gonna blend down the center of my face, so it's not So this actually looks really good. The color is slightly light. You can see it's slightly lighter than my neck, but I would say like the undertones are really good for me. So that's awesome. So now I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the concealer. So this is what it looks like. It has the same type of packaging, just minier. And this actually is like a short little concealer guy. Oh. Has a very interesting applicator. So it's kind of like the Fenty Stunna lip paints, how it has that dip in the middle to hold product, but then the edge is rounded. So that's kind of interesting for a concealer. So go ahead and see. So this definitely isn't going to be brightening my under eye because it's about the same color as the foundation. You can see that there's like from far away, it almost just blends in completely. So I will just go ahead and put this on some of the darker spots so we can see what the coverage is like, because we're not really going to use it as a brightener. And I'm just going to use a sponge because that's what I normally use for concealer. I think that is what works best for me to blend concealer out. So it blends out really nicely, and it does offer a little bit of coverage. It's definitely not like Shape Tape level coverage, but it is giving us a good amount of coverage, and it's covering like the blueness in my eyelids. So here, I'll show you my eyes because that's kind of the best area to tell. So you can see it covered some of the pigment on my eyelids. And I don't really get bad under eye bags too often. So it's kind of, I'm not the best person to tell you if it hides that, but it blended out pretty nicely under my eyes. And it's not creasing up yet, so that's good. It's kind of creamy, but it's not thick. So I don't know that I love the applicator on it. That's kind of weird to me. So now I'm gonna go ahead and set this. I always set my foundation with powder. So I am going to use the Ciate translucent setting powder to set under my eyes and in my T-zone. Okay, and we're not going to bake that, so I am just gonna go ahead and brush the excess off with a powder brush. And then I'm going to go in and set the rest of my face with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. So this is what everything looks like once it's all powdered down. The powder applied nicely on top of the foundation and concealer. Nothing looks too dry. It still looks pretty skin-like, and I'm sure once we get all the other products on and set everything in, it'll look even better. But so far everything looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and then we'll check back in. All right, you guys, here is the finished makeup look. Everything applied quite nicely on top of the foundation. I don't feel like it moved at all. The concealer did crease up a little bit under my eyes, so I went ahead and put some eyeshadow over top of it to kind of help seal it in, but it looks pretty good still. So it is 12:11. So I am probably gonna go ahead and do a check-in around 4 o'clock, and then we'll do a check-in at the end of the night. So you can kind of see like that midway point and then the end of the day. So yeah, but everything looks really good. So we'll see how it wears throughout the day. All right, you guys, it is exactly 4 hours later. It's 4:11. And if you notice that my backdrop is disappearing before your eyes, it is. I am packing. And I also apologize for my hair. My straightener broke this morning, which is what I use to curl my hair, and we are moving in 3 days. So everything is packed up already, so I'm gonna have to go buy a new straightener. Lovely. Anyway, what is not disappearing is this foundation. It still looks really, really good. The only thing that I have noticed is the concealer has started to break up under the eyes. But other than that, everything looks really good. So we'll just keep going, and I will check in at the end of the night. All right, you guys, it is 9:35 right now. I know I look a little bit crazy. I have been running all over the place, packing, but I wanted to do a final check-in. So as you can see, I clearly bumped my face on something, so I'm just gonna touch that up real quick, so that there's just not a huge hole in my makeup. But I want to show you guys up close what this looks like. So as you can see, there has been a little bit of breaking up, a little bit like right in this area, a little bit right where my hair hangs down, and a little bit at like my jawline. Like I said, I have been all over the place. I ate, so you're gonna get a little bit of that breaking up around the mouth. But all in all, I would have to say that I actually really like this foundation for a medium coverage. I actually like it way better than the Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating foundation. So I would say that the foundation is a go for somebody who's looking for medium to buildable coverage. However, the concealer, it did continue to break up a little bit under my eyes. See if you can see that. So the concealer's not really my favorite for an under eye concealer. It still looks pretty good on the spots I concealed on my face though. But overall, I've used better concealers, so the concealer is not really a good one for me. But this foundation, I actually really liked it, and I think I will like it more even in the winter, when I'm more this shade, as well as my melasma gets lighter because I'm not in the sun as frequently. And so it starts to get lighter, so I don't need that full coverage. I can definitely get away with the medium coverage then. So all in all, I would say that if you are someone who is looking for medium to buildable coverage in your foundation, I would definitely recommend the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. I don't know that I would recommend the concealer. There's plenty other ones that I can think of, but the foundation is a good one. It is quite a bit expensive compared to other foundations I've used, but it is a nice formula. So if you're interested in checking that out, I will go ahead and link them both below, so you can just go ahead to Sephora's website and check them out. So thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for this one. We'll see you in the next one.